Give each on.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to everyone's favorite Universes talk show, Top Deck Heroes. Tonight we are down a host, but it's okay. The three of us will pick up Kevin's slack. It shouldn't take too much effort. We have to my right the man the great tournament was named after, Tim Keefe.
Hey.
And then below him we have the greatest TO of online tournaments, Jesse Cervini.
Hey guys.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. So, slow news week. So, I guess we'll get right into it, though, before we get into any sort of news topics. And let's talk about the weekly survey.
This did not go over well.
So, believe it or not, so we looked at Louise. She was a classic character from the SNK set. And, yeah, there was a controversy here, because turns out she probably is broken. It took the internet about 20 minutes to break her, which is a damn shame.
Well, yeah, it took slightly longer than it does with the average Jaska release.
Well, I mean, they never banned it, so I guess if we released a set that contained like 8 versions of her, we would have the same number of bans as Libra of Souls.
Or would we?
Who knows? So, for those of you unfamiliar, Louise was from SNK Set 2, 720 with Air, Life, and Water. Commit, discard a card from your card pool. Before you make a control check, that check gets plus X. X equals the control of the discarded card. And then second enhance, commit a foundation, discard any other attack from your card pool. The stack gets plus X speed. X equals the speed of the discarded attack. And so after the show, we were choosing our weekly survey card for this coming week, and I forgot that Ovipositor Charger exists. Turns out, with Louise, that is a nearly infinite.
It is infinite for however many foundations you can afford to commit.
I guess you got to make because Ovipositor is a 4-diff, right?
Yeah, but you can discard a card each time you check that to give it +1.
Yeah. So, yeah, probably too good. I mean, let's face it, she's going to be bonkers. Like, if, let's say, what's the Libra of Souls card we banned? Shadow Slicer. Like, if that was legal, that's infinite with her.
Yeah, well, it's a funny thing. There's a character on public playtest right now that has had the same kind of infinite for a while. She just flips a foundation to discard a card from her card pool. And they've left it alone. So either they're just going to ban that character the moment it hits standard, or they're going to ban the loopy cards.
Well, we wouldn't want to, like, playtest things and make sure that they work and that they're fair. But fortunately, those cards aren't going to come out for a while, because Jasco has, 5 sets that they finished, so I'm sure anything on public playtest isn't set to come out for at least 8 months.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, Ovipositor is going to rotate long before this thing, right?
Yeah, one would assume, if they've got all those sets done. So, at any rate, I think we talked about pretty quickly why Louise just can't exist, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was not a good character when she came out. Like, she was the Nick Brown crazy deck of. I remember I think it was the Worlds that we played. He played her in Teams and in a Grind into Worlds tournament. He played her, and he definitely was turn 1 feline spike people, and people thought that, and he was not winning matches still, and it was weird. He's like, do this, gain 2 momentum, do this, feline spike. And it was not enough for some people. It was hilarious.
Now, so there was a question about the speed rule. So, Tim Keefe, under the new LGR, Louise would be kind of bonkers if you, like, big shotted something to infinity, right? Because you could discard the attack after it resolved and give your next attack plus a bunch of speed, because the values don't reset now.
Yeah, and the idea is that the new LGR was not made for cards that were printed in 2008, right?
True.
The LGR change was made in light of what cards are like today, when very nearly everything like this is printed. With the exception of like Bubble Man and whatever you want to call Text Sphere. So yeah, I mean, if you were to literally reprint that as written without changing any of the text, yeah, you'd have that problem.
Well, unfortunately, the heroes, I think, have determined that Luise cannot come back. But let's see what the internet said. So we polled folks on the major universes Facebook pages, and we had kind of a lopsided result. I mean, 37 folks said that she was just fine for standard. 25 said that she was too good. And 0 said, and this is the first time we've had a 0 saying that she was not good enough. So everybody knew that Luise was busted. So thank you for everybody who participated in the weekly survey. We'll be back next Sunday night with a new old-timey card to look at, see if we still love it.
Yeah, we're going to go back to the King of Fighters well again. Try to find a different KOF card.
Maybe we should... Well, we could do that since this one failed. We could always try a Penny Arcade card because any of those cards were playable. We could also look at Shadow War, because, or Soul Calibur 4, or Tekken. There's lots of things. You never know what's going to come up on the weekly survey. But that's a fun thing. Let's get ready to switch back to our main scene to talk about the news and then our main story. Give me just a second. I forgot to do something while we were in the other screen because I'm a dummy. And transition. So before we get to Playtest Heroes, I figure we could catch up real quick on the news. Did you guys watch the Joffice last week?
The 2-second thing, like it was like less. I went to the bathroom, came back, and Tim was saying goodbye. I was like, huh?
Yeah, it was a pretty short update. Really, all that was reported was Street Fighter, the miniatures game, soon. My Hero Academia, soon. Lots of soons, really. So it was not a big news week. The big news of the week, and that's going to lead us into our main topic for tonight, is Playtest Heroes. The fine folks at the Final Round Game Shop down in Summerville, South Carolina, have decided to sponsor a tournament. Now, fortunately, this isn't one of those tournaments where you get an invitation, you have to show up or you're murdered. It's not like the Dark Tournament. This is you can show up only if you want to. It's a $20 entry, I believe it is, and I don't even remember what the winner gets. I'm very poorly prepared tonight.
Let me bring up their Final Round. I haven't looked at I looked at it when it first came out because my first question was, I had a lot of questions specifically on this event.
Well, this is going to be very interesting because this is the first tournament that's been ran where you can only use cards that are in public playtest, which could end up being very interesting because we don't know if the cards in public playtest are from one set. We don't know if they're balanced against each other. There's a lot we don't know about public playtest. And then my understanding is you can also use the demo decks for My Hero, correct?
Yes. And promo All Might.
And the promo All Might. All right, so it looks like here it's $20 entry, and there's going to be some giveaways, some raffles. I like raffles. Just for entering, you're going to get 2 MHA tournament packs, I guess, when they come out. $5 off the Final Round's next online Universes event. So the implication here is this is not the first. I mean, not the last, rather. Top prizes, 3 packs of MHA into the card pool for every player that participates. And champion packs. And it looks like there's going to be some giveaways every round. I wonder who came up with that. And Tam Cardwell is going to be streaming this. So lots of exciting stuff. So Now, I'm going to have to ask for your guys' help. I'll be honest. If I enter this tournament, I'm going to be at a huge disadvantage. I have not actually looked at the public playtest cards except for when Garbage Plate came out.
Yeah.
And that's the only character I cared about, and they seemed kind of okay.
This is going to be an interesting tournament because, well, first of all, this is being very specifically noted as a third-party event. This is not something in any way associated with Jasco Games. And any assumptions of this event, of what these cards represent, are completely hearsay. They're a rumor. Let it be what it is. This could go really well if we get the proper feedback from it. That's what it really comes down to. We need good feedback. We need players who are going to be willing to play in this event, and then be like, I played against the same damn deck 3 rounds in a row and lost to the same card. There's an issue. And now people will realize. That's the hope. That really is the hope here. I don't know if it's going to happen, though.
Now, how many characters are currently in public playtest? Like, how many, like...
So, for this tournament, you will have 23 different characters to choose from.
23 characters. I wonder if diversity is going to be enforced in this event.
I don't think so.
Diversity is not part of the MHA only format as we know it right now.
Oh wait, so do you have to build MHA style decks with the playtest as well?
We are using the MHA format, yes.
Yeah, we are playing as if these cards are going to comprise the MHA format.
Which we know they're not, because Jasco's got 5 sets ready to go.
Yes, and people who are a bit cynical about that claim are apparently assuming that this is going to be the MHA set. So, who knows whether it is or isn't, but, we're going to pretend that it is, just because even if it's not, right, this is still around the size of what we'd expect that set to be. It's got 16 characters and a DLC. So it'd still be an exercise in sort of small format deck building, either way.
Mm-hmm. Now, somebody in the chat thinks they might be Sailor Moon cards. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I would be so happy if they were Sailor Moon cards.
Yeah, I mean, Jesco's gotten a bunch of... We were talking about this earlier today, talking about, like, how Bebop and Yu Yu Hakusho are kind of just, like, boomer anime licenses, right? They're technically anime licenses, but the modern-day weeb doesn't care, right? It's just the people that watch Toonami and whatever. And Sailor Moon would be right in line with that.
Yeah, turns out we have money now, okay? If they tried to release these games 20 years ago, they wouldn't do so well. But now I have silk sock money that I could spend getting an all-foil Sailor Mercury deck, okay? Every card foil. I want to foil Luna, and I want a foil, a Discat that could end the world. I want to foil that. I mean, knowing Funimation, they'd probably make us name it the wrong thing, but like the Psychic Spirit Glass. But yeah, I think this is a really cool idea. I think this was kind of a missed opportunity by the friends at Jasco. If they wanted like real actionable results and sizable data points, a tournament's the way to go. Encourage, and give people a reward for filling out their survey, and then call it good. I think there's actually gonna be nice actionable data from this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Certainly, one of the things about this, and we'll get into like how to actually prepare for this, is that this is public playtest, and the cards change sporadically, right? Sometimes they change. There's changes like 3 days in a row. Sometimes it goes 3 weeks between changes. So people could be testing for it this week, and the Friday before the event, there could be a new file laid out. Now, like, obviously, Jasco knows this event's happening, and they may or may not be interested in sort of stepping on its toes like that. But at the same time, if they have feedback in hand that, like, Muscle Buster is stupid, then are they, how useful is it to let the event go off and have a bunch of people write about them that the Muscle Buster is stupid, right? Like, they already know that. So... or they should already know that. I would hope anybody who can read knows that card's stupid.
Well, I don't know, Tim Keefe. This is brought to you by the same folks that printed Downward Spiral and Shield Big Bang.
True.
So, I would be concerned.
Yeah. So for those unaware, Muscle Buster says enhance, add 2 face-down foundations to your momentum, and then build the top 2 cards of your deck.
You
So-
add those as cost, right?
Yeah, its cost is get 2 momentum, and its effect is ready 2 foundations, basically. Right, you add 2 committed ones.
So for the low cost of getting 2 momentum, which
Yeah.
really is only a cost if you're playing against Twinkle Murdoch, and then you get to ready 2 foundations.
Yep.
So it's kind of like Coffee Samba, where your low cost is drawing 2 cards.
And of course, the card gives itself EX2 and Powerful 2, but there's bigger momentum outlets in this set that can abuse that a lot more strongly than the card can itself. Right? Like we know Big Mac gives Powerful 7 to things.
Yeah.
Stats.
Big Mac is a stats character. I built actually a deck with the promo All Might, and then I was like, all right, this is really cool because I just don't run out of cards. But what about damage? What about just guaranteed damage? Let me tell you, that Big Mac guarantees damage. Now making it deck, that's a whole other problem.
Kevin's right in chat. Like it is a cost in the sense that you do need to actually have the 2 faces, so it's more of a cost than Coffee Samba is, but it's still it's a very large effect for a card. If you're just looking at that card in itself, it's kind of innocuous because you're just going to spend that momentum on it. It's EX2 and Powerful 2 supposedly, but the problem is that cards exist that spend momentum better than that. Not obviously in Standard, but also even within this format.
So, if I was to enter into the Playtest Heroes tournament, tell me what character I should play.
Well, the 3 that I have found are the strongest in all of my testing have definitely been the Big Mac. Baby Maxima has been pretty good in testing because you just have infinite life. And if people try to play any type of poke and go type of decks, they're not going to win.
Is Garbage Plate still good? Can I play it?
Not on the page right now.
What? Like I said, I haven't looked at these since day 1.
Yeah, the playtest table has very suspiciously just has 16 characters that provide 4 of each symbol and 4 DLCs that have similarities to 4 of the characters that are among those 16, and that between those pairings flavor-wise line up with the 4 characters that are supposed to be in the MHA Set 1 DLC.
Hey, I'm going to be honest. I, for one, am extremely excited about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles DLC. Because you figure there's 4 characters and 4 turtles. I mean, it's perfect.
But yeah, so the public playtest is only the cards that are... This is, at the very least, a self-contained set of some kind. So it's only whatever that set is right now. The overall power level, aside from some outlier, I'd say it's kind of close to when I've played. It kind of feels almost like the Red Horizon 1 format in terms of power level.
Does that mean we couldn't print any fire attacks or any fire cards?
I mean, they still existed from the FFG stuff, but it's sort of those kinds of numbers on the attacks. Like they're not tiny baby attacks, but they're not Vicious Madness.
So not quite Lieber power level, maybe like Cowboy Bebop power level?
I would say you would keep design power level.
Oh, back in my day when we had to play 4 difficulty attacks that dealt 5 damage and had costs like committing foundations and stuff? Wow. Higher than lower than that of Street Fighter, the chat asks.
You just die on
Yeah, like there's still some explosiveness, but you go into a game expecting it to last 3 to 5 turns, and you're only worried about getting blown up on turn 2 in like certain scenarios, right? Like if you're facing Masala, chicken TK Masala, however you pronounce it, can be a very explosive character on a hot draw.
Gotcha. Well, chances are pretty good that I will not be playing in this format. However, I will be watching the coverage over at Tam Cardwell's stream. So, Once again, this is going to be happening on the 20th of February, so that I believe is a week from Saturday.
Yeah, it's coming up quick.
$20 entry. And it's going to be on Tabletop Simulator. Hopefully, I hope it's as big as the TKE TTST, and that, this is the start of a really vibrant online universes tournament series, as we can't meet each other in person right now because there's not enough vaccines. So definitely wish Jacob and the Final Round Game Shop the best of luck.
Yeah, and we'll see what the turnout is. I will say, if you're thinking about playing and you just haven't touched Playtest yet, you're gonna have to read all the cards and stuff, but it is pretty easy to build an okay deck because the format's tiny, right? It's literally just the 20 some odd characters, and then depending on whether you have access to demo deck cards, either 38 or 45 cards per symbol or something like that.
That's not
so.
And since it's My Hero format, you can't multi-symbol, correct?
Yeah, you can't there's no multi-symbol. It's a single. You just pick a symbol. That's what you're playing with, and it's a 50 card deck. So you don't 50 card minimum. You can go more.
I set up at my first deck.
You multi-symbol?
I had a whole plan. I was like, oh, I can do this and this. Attack with this symbol. Like, nope, that doesn't work here.
That is not legal in this format.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the table right now. I don't think. I think public playtest so far has had fairly good results, because I'm looking at this roster of characters and what I've seen in side games or seen people build them or whatever. I don't think any of these are pushovers. I don't think any of them really stand out. Certainly, Maxima is Maxima, but I was talking about how explosive Masala is. Keto Combateer has been nerfed a couple times, but he's still really good. People have been talking up Pumpkin Spice. The Canada Weekly was won by PBJ. We know Taco Bell's crazy. I've seen Trifle overperform what it looks like. So, all of these characters could be the best. We don't know who the best character is out of this. We don't really have any good firm guess. As explosive as Big Mac is, he has this constantly shrinking hand size. As defensive as Muscles is, his offense is kind of he's a 530. So. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Back in my day, 530s did this weird crane game thing where you had to move cards around your discard pile and have fun.
Yeah, Muscles moves cards from his staging area to his hand, and then from his card pool to his staging area.
Nice.
And then apparently from his staging area to his momentum, and then The pickup is limited twice per turn. He's a 5 hand size instead of a 6, but he sort of gets the 6th card by a once per turn free build. So it is very, very close to a new Maxima, except that he can't actually block out of his stage forever.
Absolutely. Alrighty, so good luck to anybody entering this event once again. Are there any other thoughts we have about the Playtest Heroes event? Do you think Mark Tyner's going to win it?
I don't think he's going to bother playing.
Well, he can't play Cassandra with 40,000 assets, so probably not.
But yeah, if you are playing, the other thing, keep an eye out for table updates, and ideally have a couple decks ready, because once again, the table could change as late as the Friday afternoon before the event, right?
Yeah.
So definitely be on top of that. You don't want to be on the other side of a judge that's that card doesn't do that thing anymore.
I think I had Tab stream on in the background yesterday when I was playing Borderlands, and somebody used to play against anybody, and somebody loaded with a deck, and it's that card doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Alrighty, so that actually wraps up everything for tonight. Just a reminder to everybody that we do have the My Hero Academia booster displays, not pre-order bundles, those are long gone. Booster displays, rival decks, and the DLC up for pre-order at everyone's favorite website, rochesterccg.com. And I'm going to tease something a little tonight, guys, that wasn't on the schedule. We've come up with the name for our next event. So we're going to be calling the next event the Kevin Broberg's Peer Review Tournament. So stay tuned for some details on that. We're going to try to figure out a date and time for that, but it's going to be a good time, and I want to beat those terrible numbers we had for the TKE TTST. I want Jesse to have to run a 7th round for the KBPRT, the Kabert. Kabert. So stay
The
tuned.
absence of vowels.
No vowels allowed.
7 rounds. I'll just make people play harder, faster. We'll get through it, people. We're gonna be cutting the top cuts at 8:30 again.
If we cut to top cuts at 8:30 again in a 7-round tournament, I would be extremely impressed.
True.
But we'll see. So the Kippert is coming soon, so stay tuned for some more information about that. And I think we'll call that it for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Come back tomorrow night when Jesse and I are going to be back on Universonomics for our monthly show, where we look at the value of the Yu Yu Hakusho set.
Yes, we have. We actually, the original article of Universonomics was posted approximately. Was posted. We're talking a year and X amount of time from now. I don't know when that's came out. 2019. So it's been over a year since that Yu Yu Hakusho actually came out, and this whole thing is going to be comparing the degrading of value of a set and looking at where its cards go up, cards go down. Where did my pre-release bundle start, and where did it end up? It's gonna be fun, I think.
I'm going to be honest, Jesse. I'm very interested to run this back after My Hero comes out in the absence of the pre-order bundles that we've had and see how the cards hold their value 2 years later then. I mean, I guess
we'll find out if things stay within the consistency bubble, or do we have to... Does every set have to get stronger to keep up with itself?
So, just to give everybody a little teaser of what we're going to discuss tomorrow night, and you'll have to find out the rest of the information, is we had 4 kits that Jesse and I priced out back in 2018. They were worth $1,166, $1,208, $1,166.50, and $1,176. Now, you'll have to come back tomorrow night to find out how Jesse's and my investment has paid off over the past few years. Tim Keefe, can we count on you to watch?
I am going to be in Ultima Weapons Refrain Ultimate. We're reprogging old Ultimates because they canceled the new one.
Oh man, hopefully you don't have to wait 2 years for the next thing to come out. That would be awful.
Just 1 year.
And on that sad note, it's time to end. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bye now.
Good night, everybody.